Thanks for starting your week with us. Welcome to Arirang Newsbreak. Live from Seoul, I'm Han Da-eun. More details have been disclosed regarding President Park Geun-hye's upcoming trips to Africa and France as she prepares to depart on Wednesday. During her visits to Ethiopia, Uganda, Kenya, and France, the South Korean leader will look to upgrade diplomatic and economic ties with each nation. We begin with Presidential Office correspondent Song Ji-sun.
Africa is seen as the last frontier in the world, boasting a robust growth rate of 5% in the 21st century and a population of 8 billion people. President Park's trip to Africa will take her to the capitals of Ethiopia, Uganda, and Kenya, and set the groundwork to tap into the great potential of the continent.
By visiting the three biggest economies in East Africa, Seoul will strengthen cooperative partnerships and facilitate mutual growth in the region.
While assisting Africa with customized development plans, Seoul will also launch a new official development assistance project called Korea Aid, a truck enabling mobile healthcare and introduction to Korean culture. President Park will also become the first South Korean leader to deliver a speech at the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, allowing her to communicate Seoul's vision for the continent. Park will then head to Paris for a state visit marking 130 years of diplomatic relations with France. Presidents Park and Hollande will release a joint statement aimed at upgrading their comprehensive partnership for the 21st century, with the creative economy also expected to be a key focus.
Korea and France are optimal partners to realize a creative economy and cultural prosperity. The two countries will finalize deals to jointly foster new growth engines for the future.
President Park's visit to Africa will complete her global diplomacy map covering the Americas, Europe, and the Middle East. During her travels, President Park will discuss North Korea's nuclear issues and ask for partner countries to implement sanctions on Pyongyang. Song Ji-sun, Arirang News.
South Korea's vice foreign minister says North Korea's nuclear and missile provocations will be the greatest challenge that will determine the future relations between South Korea and China. Cho Tae-ra's latest statement indirectly highlights China's role in solving North Korea's continuing threats. Giving a speech at the East Asian Symposium of the World Forum on China Studies, Cho said that any challenges could be overcome if Seoul and Beijing hold hands through sincere communication and cooperation. He stressed that developing and sustaining a mutual strategic cooperative relationship with China is one of South Korea's key foreign policy goals, as Beijing can contribute to maintaining peace on the Korean peninsula. Former Oxy Korea CEO John Lee, who's now the head of Google Korea, will be summoned for questioning on Monday afternoon over the toxic humidifier sterilizer scandal. Lee is the first foreign chief executive called in by prosecutors to answer questions about the company's toxic sterilizers that killed or seriously injured hundreds of people in Korea. The former CEO, who was at the Korean branch from 2005 to 2010, is expected to be quizzed on his involvement, including whether he pushed ahead with sales of the product in question despite civil complaints regarding its side effects. Lee was the chief executive of Oxy Korea when sales of the company's sterilizers were at their peak. The prosecution is also trying to find if Oxy's London headquarters could be held accountable for any involvement. British veteran director Ken Loach has been awarded with this year's Palme d'Or Award at the Cannes Film Festival. Korean director Park Chan-wook's The Handmaiden did not make the list of awardees. Kim Mo-kyun reports.
Ken Loach was awarded this year's Palme d'Or as his latest social realist drama I, Daniel Blake took the coveted Best Picture award. This marks the second time the 79-year-old has taken the top prize at Cannes among a total of 9 directors who have won the prestigious award twice. Loach won his first Palme d'Or 10 years ago with The Wind That Shakes the Barley. Set in Newcastle, Loach's I, Daniel Blake depicts the story of a sick carpenter who forms a friendship with a young single mother as they both struggle with Britain's social security system that makes life harder for the lower classes. Loach said he hopes the film makes people think about what he calls the cruel austerity program in England.
I don't know. I mean, I hope they were touched by it. I hope they they felt like we did, that the bureaucracy, the state bureaucracies now are cruel and they humiliate people and they come from the program of austerity that is being forced on people now.
The Grand Prix Award went to Canadian director Xavier Dolan, whose film It's Only the End of the World received negative feedback when it was screened to journalists during the festival. The Best Director was awarded to France's Olivier Assayas for Personal Shopper and Romania's Cristian Mungiu for Baccalaureate. However, Park Chan-wook's The Handmaiden, also known as Agashi in Korea, did not make it onto the list of winners this year, despite high expectations. Kim Mo-kyun, Arirang News.
And that does it for now. I'll be back with more of the day's quick headlines at 3 p.m. Korea time. Thank you for watching.